NBC Connecticut presents A Night of Black and Red.
We are live in downtown Hartford at the Bushnell Center for Performing Arts for an amazing event.
Tonight, we mark the 25th year of this very special evening, A Night of Black and Red, Hartford Hospital's annual fundraising gala, and this year's beneficiary, the Bone and Joint Institute.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Joe D'Ambrosio.
And I'm Rebecca Stewart, and welcome to A Night of Black and Red. This is about building on such a great history right here at Hartford Hospital. Now, Joe, did you know that the very first orthopedic surgeon ever at Hartford Hospital made shoes for then President William Taft?
I did not know that. Maybe he made dancing shoes. Rebecca, we'll have lots of dancing shoes tonight. More than 1,000 people are here to celebrate, raise awareness, and $1 million to create this new world-class musculoskeletal institute.
Now, the new hospital and medical center will open its doors this fall, truly changing the footprint of the city of Hartford. It will have 5 floors, 160,000 square feet, 10 operating rooms, ambulatory surgery. But this is so much more than a building. This is a movement to completely redesign the way in which we deliver musculoskeletal care. And this will help so many people. That is why we are here celebrating tonight.
NBC Connecticut's Heidi Voight is also here on the red carpet. Everything is getting into full swing. Heidi, you look fabulous. What's happening there?
Oh, well, thank you, Joe D. You guys look amazing tonight as well, and so do all the people that have been streaming in since 6 o'clock here at the Bushnell. So exciting to be part of this event. NBC Connecticut, of course, very proud to support this tonight. You can see the red carpet, people still coming on in here tonight. This is all to support Hartford Healthcare's mission to provide world-class healing and health to people across Connecticut. And what better way to celebrate than with some world-class entertainment? Chicago is the headlining act here tonight, so we're all really excited to see that show later on. But first and foremost, we're asking everyone here tonight and our viewers at home to take a pledge and join us to Step It Up CT. Make a commitment to increased health and fitness in 2016. You're going to be hearing how a lot of people are doing that tonight. Let's hear from the U.S. Surgeon General.
Well, even a small bit of activity can make a big difference. The key is to get started. For me, I like to get out of my office whenever I can and have walking meetings instead of sitting meetings. And I also like to take the stairs instead of the elevator whenever possible.
And that is great advice for all of us from Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy on how he steps it up. Again, he's making it his mission to get communities like you more active, more walkable. A perfect campaign to tie into this year's beneficiary, because we know that being active makes your bones and your joints healthier.
Now, this is why tonight we're asking you to step it up too. The goal is to get you moving for 30 days. Why 30 days, you ask? Well, it takes that long to make it a habit. So log on to stepitup30.org, take our quiz, then take the pledge to step it up.
We want you stepping it up, and if you do that, of course you need shoes. So while you're there, be sure to click to donate a new pair of shoes to area kids. We are working with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Hartford, getting shoes to kids in need. Log on, or you can donate in person if you'd rather. We are collecting new shoes at all of our Hartford Healthcare Rehabilitation Network locations. We have more than 25 different places to drop off new shoes, or you can head to New Balance and you can get a donation rate. So of course we are all taking the pledge to step it up. We want you to do that. But Joe, I ask you, how do you step it up?
Very good question, Ms. Stewart. Well, about 4 or 5 days a week, whether at home in West Hartford at my gym or on the road traveling covering the Yukon Huskies, I'll do the treadmill for 4 or 5 days a week. Look at the guns there. That's unbelievable.
Look at you.
About 45 minutes on the treadmill and then lift some light weights. Hopefully you'll get that picture out of your mind by the time the evening is over. So now, Rebecca, looking beautiful as always, how do you step it up?
Well, I have to say, I think that Joe D here puts me to shame. But
Hardly.
One of my favorite things to do is to head out with my family. We love to go biking. So we have a shot of us right before we're hitting the West Hartford Reservoir. Those are my 2 kiddos, and we love to do that. That is how we like to step it up. Now, Heidi, I am most impressed with your photo. You tell us how you love to step it up.
Yeah, guys, I love CrossFit and Olympic lifting. I work out at a great place called CrossFit Relentless in West Hartford. It's a really supportive community. Strong is the new skinny, and functional personal fitness is the best gift that you can give yourself for a lifetime. So that's how I step it out, in and out in an hour, really intense, but great for a person like me that's on the go all the time.
That's
very impressive.
Great. It
yeah.
is impressive.
Scary, as a matter of
Heidi.
fact.
Very impressive. But if you have ever been in pain, if you've ever been unable to move, then you know just how life-altering it can be to have orthopedic surgery to finally feel better.
Now, there are so many patients whose lives will be touched by the Bone and Joint Institute.
But tonight, we want to introduce you to one young woman who is a patient of the past, present, and the future.
I've always loved the horses. It's always been my biggest passion in the world. It's kind of a lifestyle.
Tiffany Bianco is back on her feet, but even more importantly to her, she's back with her horses, living the life she has always dreamed of.
You know, even through high school, I wasn't, into cheerleading. I didn't do soccer. I didn't do lacrosse. I wanted to ride.
Tiffany never intended to be one of the first patients in line to visit the Bone and Joint Institute when it opens its doors. But 10 years ago, everything changed.
It started as a normal day. Up early at the horse farm, getting kids ready, getting horses ready, get everybody prepped for their classes.
The experienced horseback riding instructor remembers trying to help one of her students who was having a tough time with the horse. Tiffany came in to help.
And we're schooling around to the jumps, and I came off, and he went one way, and I went the other, and hit the ground.
She was thrown, and life in that moment changed forever.
The panic immediately set in because I just couldn't get up. And the pain immediately kind of took over, and there just is honestly nothing in this world that I could tell you compares to.
Tiffany didn't know if she would ever ride again.
Panic, oh my gosh, this is bad.
Tiffany was taken by ambulance to a local hospital, but it was such a bad injury she was transferred to a level 1 trauma and orthopedic center capable of taking on this complicated case. She found herself at Hartford Hospital.
In order to fracture your femur requires a tremendous amount of force.
Dr. Cortland Lewis, the physician-in-chief at the Bone and Joint Institute, points out there was nothing simple about this break. The traumatic injury would affect far more than her femur, her knee, her joints. In that moment, Tiffany became a patient for life.
When somebody falls off a horse, as Tiffany did, it is just a huge amount of trauma.
In a blink of an eye, everything changed.
Throughout the entire ordeal, her mother, Lori, never left her side.
I knew something was wrong. And I knew my daughter, and I knew she was in trouble.
And then, a complication.
About 24 hours post-surgery, I was going down for x-ray, and I started to not really feel right. Something was wrong. I was having a difficult time breathing.
Doctors found a life-threatening pulmonary embolism, a sudden blockage of a major vessel in the lung. It had to be treated immediately.
She had a blood clot after her surgery, and that's traditionally been a complication of an injury like this. And we've been able to dramatically decrease those complications over the years. That number's down now less than 1%. We had an expert traumatologist who performed her osteotomy. We had an expert knee sports doctor who performed her arthroscopy. We've got a great total joint replacement doctor, arthritis doctor, who's following her along.
It's amazing. There's a lot of knowledge. Everybody adds something to the whole picture.
I had absolutely fabulous nurses. My doctors were just incredible. It was a real tough first 6 months post-accident, post-surgery, to try and get myself mobile, get going. I was determined. There's nothing that was going to stop me from walking and being able to ride again.
It would take 2 full years.
The first time I got back on a horse, I cried my eyes out. I was so happy. It meant that I could continue to do what I love the most. Having that moment come when I could get back on and just take that deep breath and feel safe and felt like I could ride again was honestly the best day of my life.
They certainly saved her life. They saved her leg. They gave her life back. They gave me my daughter back.
Such an inspiring story, and when you meet her, you just know wholeheartedly she believes in this team. We're so lucky right now. Joining us is Hartford Hospital's President, Dr. Stuart Markowitz.
And the Physician-in-Chief of Hartford Hospital's Bone and Joint Institute, Cortland Lewis.
We are going to start with Dr. Markowitz, and you often speak that we have a huge obligation to our community.
Well, absolutely, and I think this night really brings it home to us again. We are always going to be there to care for the acutely sick and injured folks, but central to our mission is to really create healthier communities.
And that is what we're about. Okay, and what we're asking everyone tonight, of course, is how do you step it up?
Well, I'll use any excuse I can to get to the outdoors. I love to ski, I love to hike, I love to kayak in the warm weather. Rock climbing, rappelling, there isn't almost anything in the outdoors that I don't love to do.
No kidding. We have lots of these amazing photographs. And there is Stu, Dr. Markowitz, living it up. You are living the dream, my friend.
Very impressive. Well, Cortland, you've done this work for 30 years. What makes the Bone and Joint Institute different?
Well, I think the opportunity to bring everybody together, it's just an honor for me to represent about 200 or 225 folks who are all working behind the scenes to make this happen. And the opportunity to have the orthopedic docs, the rheumatologists, the anesthesiologists, the radiologists, all our nurses and techs and everybody all focused in on the patient in a single location is just a spectacular opportunity for care.
And the question of the night, how do you step it up?
Well, so I'm a cross-country skier, so this afternoon I was gliding it up, but it hasn't been a really great year for that, so usually it's walks in the reservoir or down in the basement on the treadmill, but that's what I have to do when there's no snow.
It all works. Cortland, Stu, thank you both very much.
Thank you so much. We are checking in, of course, with Heidi Voight with NBC on the red carpet. What's happening there?
Well, I'm here with two very important ladies. These are the co-chairs of the Black and Red. Rebecca Corbin-Laree and Connie Weaver are joining me right now. You ladies are so active in the community and the business world. Talk to me a little bit about what goes into pulling off an event like this.
Well, it takes a lot of people, a lot of hard work, a lot of strategy, and a lot of vision. This is not an easy feat, and we've had a record year. We're very excited about that.
Wonderful. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, we really look for what the impact is that we can have with an event like this. It's the 25th year. It's a record year with fundraising, and that means more will go back to the hospital, which is going to do good for the community, and that's what this is really all about.
It's got a wonderful legacy. I mean, you're building on 25 years of amazing things, over $10 million raised. How do you step it up every year?
Well, that's a funny way to ask. You know, I think Connie and I have worked elsewhere in the community. We are big believers of Hartford. We're so excited that Luke Bronin is now the mayor. And, you know, we step it up by just putting two brains together, collaborating with the team, and really thinking strategically about how we can engage and make this event even better than the years past, which is a tough feat.
Well, we have confidence in you, and I've got to ask, what are you looking forward to tonight the most?
Well, aside from Chicago, which I saw in a high school gym many years ago, and we won't do that name, really what we are achieving in terms of all these terrific people coming out, supporting the Bone and Joint Institute and the founding of that, and the impact this is all going to have for the community. This is all about the people of Hartford and the greater Hartford area.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Get in there, have a great time. Rebecca and Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Heidi. Well, you have seen just how life-changing the work that happens within the Bone and Joint Institute is, because this team isn't just fixing a skeleton. They're often repairing emotional scars from years of pain, folks who were unable to move.
This is Jane Lee's story.
And gone all the way down to Unionville and back.
On any given day, you'll find Jane Lee doing something that might seem pretty ordinary, like taking a walk on a nice day. But she will tell you this is extraordinary.
I couldn't bend my leg. I was starting to find it difficult to get upstairs. Needed something to hang on to sit onto the toilet.
Jane Lee has had trouble moving for years. She fought cancer, and the experimental treatment that saved her life made her bones brittle. She had to have several surgeries, and by 2010, the pain of simply walking was unbearable. Physically, her knees were shot. Emotionally, she was in even worse shape, and most physicians thought her case
was just too complicated. Dr. Cortland Lewis, physician-in-chief at Hartford Hospital's Bone and Joint Institute, would offer her hope and a life-changing plan.
I think I have always found that the patients with the more complicated stories or complicated problems, I find that appealing because they're the folks that you can help the most.
Even though her case was complicated, they would move forward with a knee replacement. 2 years later, Jane is more active than she can remember.
I was in a very unhappy, very painful place. And now I have a quality of life that I haven't seen since my mid-30s.
We are now joined by some very important guests here in the Belding Theater. Next to me, Doug Elliott, chairman of the board for Hartford Hospital.
And next to me right here, Chief Operating Officer of Hartford Healthcare, Jeff Flax. So this was your vision so many moons ago. To see it finally come to fruition, what does that feel like?
I love it. It's amazing. This is going to be wonderful for Connecticut, wonderful for our patients. We're creating a world-class center that will import people from around the world to get care here right in Hartford.
Which is such an amazing feat. And of course, we're not letting anybody off this stage without answering the question, how do you step it up?
I have the great privilege of coaching both of my boys' basketball teams. So twice a week, I'm getting up and down the court with 12 and 14-year-olds, as hard as that may sound to believe.
So I should have pulled up old photos of Mr. Flax when he was actually back playing basketball.
I don't think you should have. I think that's a good decision. Doug, your role as the board chair and addressing the community needs.
We take that responsibility seriously, Joe. We've got a terrific board. We care so much about the hospitals, our physicians, and our nurses. And so this is a big role, and we understand that, and we just enjoy giving back to the community.
Now, Doug, a former great baseball catcher at the University of Connecticut several years ago, still in shape. How do you step it up?
I get on that treadmill as often as I can, Joe, right? And in the summertime, maybe a little bit of golf.
Nice. And I'm sure you walk all the time. Gentlemen, thanks. A great night here. A lot of people are arriving. Let's head back to the red carpet.
Where I understand you are talking to all sorts of people looking quite beautiful, Heidi.
Oh my goodness, everybody's so glamorous here tonight in their black and red, and Virginia Van Dyke is here with some other ladies from West Hartford and Avon, and you ladies are part of the Hartford Hospital Auxiliary Board. Tell me what that is all about.
It's an all-volunteer board, and we are dedicated to raising money for Hartford Hospital. It's what we do.
Fantastic, and so you have a big event coming up, I understand, right?
We have the golf tournament. Our annual golf tournament is being held in September, and it is our largest fundraiser for the hospital.
So if people want to get in on that, where can they go for information?
HartfordHospital.com to the auxiliary page.
Fantastic. So what are you looking forward to tonight?
Tonight, just celebrating all the good works we do at Hartford Hospital with all the many friends and colleagues that we have at the hospital. It's a big celebration.
Over 1,000 people, lots of people here. I got to ask you, ladies, we're taking the pledge to step it up. How do you step it up?
I run and I do a bar class.
I walk and I do a bar class.
Pilates and tennis.
Very fun. Looking great. Get in there and enjoy. We're going to send it back to Rebecca and Joe in the theater.
Oh, I love
I like
that.
bar class. That doesn't mean like the bar behind us, right?
That doesn't quite mean the bar behind us. But tonight, of course, all about celebrating the new Bone and Joint Institute. We have such a grand history, but an even brighter future. Hartford Hospital becoming part of an elite group of hospitals here in the United States, creating a musculoskeletal institute. But we are working to make a difference with you in our community. We're working to collect 2,000 pairs of shoes. We want to donate to the Boys and Girls Club so kids can be active and step it up. So we need you. We are looking for brand new shoes. You can log on to stepitup30.org to donate.
Or you can donate new shoes at all of our Hartford Healthcare Rehabilitation Network locations. You can find over 25 different places to drop off new shoes. Or you can head to New Balance stores. Donated shoes go for a discounted rate. There's a complete list of locations on stepitup30.com.
So please be sure to head there. We're talking about a West Simsbury man now who knows firsthand how orthopedic surgery can truly change your life. He steps it up, my son is going to love this, by lacing up his ice skates. Now, an injury a few years ago left him on the bench.
Hartford Healthcare's Tina Verona joins us live. Tina?
Joe and Rebecca, it was a devastating injury for Bob Laubin, who has played the game of hockey for most of his life, but that didn't stop him from playing the game that he loves so much. So, with his determination, the care that he received from his physicians, and the support from his family and teammates allowed him to skate past his injury.
You get together
all the barriers go down.
For Bob Laubin, being on the ice is a warm feeling.
It's probably, I'd say, the camaraderie between the guys.
And these guys are part of a unique hockey team where the average age is 66, Bob the oldest at a very young 77.
You get up the next morning and say, why did I do that? But not too many times.
It's been a favorite pastime for 16 years.
I'm not concerned about getting hurt. I feel I've got enough funny equipment on here, which is pretty good.
But 2 years ago, something happened as he tried to skate past an opponent.
The next thing I knew, I'm turning around and I'm flat on the ice. The whistle blows and I'm on the ice, and I could feel a sharp pain.
It was a game changer. Bob crawled off the ice. The next day, the pain grew worse.
So I knew there was something that wasn't right, and I was taking some leave, and it wasn't doing the job.
Bob had fractured his hip. He underwent surgery at Hartford Hospital to repair the damage. It was the longest timeout of his career, but the rink was his therapy, and he was determined to score a goal again. And for surgeons,
the goal is to have a positive impact. And it's not just a positive impact, it's a positive impact on the patient, but it's also a positive impact on their family, and it allows them to continue to contribute in whatever way they do.
And for Bob, that meant number 5 was back in the game.
I'll tell you what, I can't ice skate or play hockey the way I used to, but I go out there, I have fun.
And that's really what it's all about, a life back in motion. Now, Bob took about 1 year to rehabilitate from his injury. Today, he still does have some limitations on the ice, but the most important thing, he is back every Wednesday night at the hockey rink playing the game that he loves, and he could not be happier. Without a doubt, Bob is certainly an inspiration to us all. And Joe and Rebecca, I will add that he is a lot of fun to watch out there on the ice. Back to you guys.
77 and playing hockey. I want to be walking at 77.
No
We are now joined by Chief Executive Officer of Hartford Healthcare, Elliot Joseph.
So, Elliot, we've been talking a lot about what this really demonstrates. When you look around, you see what tonight's about. What does it demonstrate?
Tonight's a great night, and really what it really demonstrates is that the people of Connecticut, people of this community, love their hospitals. They support their hospitals. This is the 25th year of the black and red. And we're sold out once again. People care deeply about their hospitals.
Because hospitals have such an important role in our state, and that's what this has been about.
And Elliot, when you see the outpouring of people here and that you understand just how important your organization is to the greater good of the community.
No question, Joe. Really, we look at it as primarily as a quality of life attribute for the hospitals and healthcare providers here in this community and across the state of Connecticut. We make Connecticut a better place to live. And more importantly now, increasingly so, hospitals and healthcare are an important part of driving the economy of our state. It's a terrific opportunity for us.
You've talked about the jobs that a hospital can bring. In the sector alone, I think you were telling me 500,000?
Well, it's actually the broader healthcare sector in America. So if you think about pharmaceutical companies, medical device companies, biosciences, hospitals, doctors, providers of care, genetics companies.
So important.
470,000 new jobs were created across America this past year. That's an opportunity for a community like Hartford and a state like Connecticut. We have a lot of those resources here in our state. We have an opportunity. We need to leverage it.
Well,
finally, Elliot, nobody gets off the grill. How do you step it up?
Well, I try hard to do it, and I think tonight will be a perfect example. When the music goes on, I'm getting up and dancing.
Well done.
I'll take pictures of that for you all there.
Let's
Elliot,
head back.
thank you
So much. Let's head back to the red carpet where Heidi is learning all about the history of this great event.
Yeah, I'm here with 2 very special ladies. These are the women who got this event started 25 years ago, Ruth Ellison and Marla Burns. And you were telling me that this is the first time you've been back in a while.
It has been a long time, and I am so blown away by how sophisticated it is and how it's grown.
Tell me a little bit about the first ever Black and Red.
The first ever was held at one of the hotels in Farmington. It was the only place we could find that would take, enough people. And the whole event was sold out. It was the first time, so it was obviously something that was needed and wanted, and sold out before the invitations even went out.
Well, what a legacy.
Continued.
Oh, it has. Such an amazing legacy. What does it mean to you to see how it's flourished?
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, I was there at the first one and cheering for Ruth. It's just wonderful to see that the community has embraced Hartford Hospital and has embraced this wonderful evening. We've grown from a relatively small event to this huge event that's now filling the Bushnell Auditorium. It's so wonderful to see.
And what are you looking forward to tonight the most?
Just seeing friends and having a good time and seeing Chicago.
Oh, of course, seeing Chicago, the headliner tonight. A wonderful community of people for you to catch up with tonight. And congratulations, ladies, on such an incredible legacy and helping the community through Hartford Healthcare. Joe and Rebecca, sending it back to you.
Thanks so much, Heidi. Now, we are very lucky to be joined by U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal. Welcome.
Senator, welcome. It's always good to see you. This is a great event, and you have often partnered with Hartford Hospital.
I've partnered with Hartford Hospital because it is at the forefront of healthcare in America on issues like drug shortages, ameliorating the shortages of certain drugs. It has been a leader in the nation. We're so lucky to have an employer like Hartford Hospital that provides jobs and economic growth for the area.
All across the nation, we were talking about those numbers, almost 500,000 jobs when it comes across the U.S. to the healthcare sector. But we're not letting anyone off of our stage tonight without asking, how do you step it up? You are so fit. How do you step it up, Senator Blumenthal?
I run, I swim, I use all kinds of equipment when it's available, when I have the time for it. And I try to emulate my 4 children and my beautiful wife. And you guys are in good shape, too. So.
Thank you, Senator. Very nice. And he runs through the halls of Congress. Senator, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
We do. We just had actually the Surgeon General, you might be interested to know, who said, I think everybody needs to have walking meetings. So that's what my takeaway is. This half hour, I'm telling everyone I know to have walking meetings. I think that's great advice.
Very good advice.
Thank
now,
you, Senator.
Before we go, make sure you log on to stepitup30.org. Now, we're doing well so far, but we can do a lot better. You can take our online quiz to get your grade on your activity level. You can also log on to take the pledge to step it up yourself.
We want you to do this. Head to our site. We are working with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Connecticut. We need them to step it up too. So while you're at that site, stepitup30.org, be sure to donate and help purchase a new pair of shoes for children who need them. Everyone deserves a shot at stepping it up. We are collecting new shoes at all of our Hartford Healthcare Rehabilitation Network locations. You can find more than 25 different places to drop off shoes. And also, I can't be remiss, if you want to go to New Balance, they have a discounted rate for those of you who want to donate.
So you've got the message. Now step it up. That's it for us now here at the Bushnell in downtown Hartford.
We have had such a lovely night. Thank you for sharing this evening with us for this night of black and red, celebrating an incredible history and even brighter future for Hartford Hospital and the brand new Bone and Joint Institute. Good night.